Hey guys. So today I want to talk about the big question that everyone is having after the recent reveal of units coming out. Who should you summon for? Should you go for Shinhei? Should you go for Zhao? Should you go for Zhongli? Should you go for Ganyu? Or should you just say for Yaimiko in 2.5? I'm here to. I'm not gonna tell you definitively who to summon for, but I'm at least gonna try and convince you about the goods and bads of each unit, and then maybe help you in deciding yourself which unit you want to go for. So, well, first of all, I'm gonna go with this that the short answer to the video is if you like a certain character that's coming out and you don't get convinced whether you should go for it or not. If you like that character, if you're having fun using the character in their test run, in their story, or wherever you get to use them, go for the character because having fun is the most important thing when you're playing a game. Now, for the long answer, and this is gonna be going off of roughly what all I know because I don't own any of the upcoming units except Zhongli, as you can see on the screen. So let's just start with Zhongli. What Zhongli's kit is basically his normal attacks are just a normal what do you do with spear, just normal attack, charge attack. His skill, which maybe I'll crown some given point of time, creates a shield when you hold it, and when you just tap it, it creates a pillar. But tapping is useless because when you hold it, you also get the pillar and the shield, and it creates a shield for 20 seconds. Um, the skill cooldown is 12 seconds, so you basically have an infinite shield, and if you build his HP high enough, you're gonna get a shield that's practically unbreakable in this game as of yet, except maybe some bosses that can hit insanely hard. Like I know certain attacks on Magu King, he can break it at some point. In the Spiral Abyss, maybe multiple hits can break it, but I think most people can just dodge those one or two hits or manage through those one or two hits. But other than those few couple of hits that can break Zhongli's shield, his shield is practically unbreakable. His elemental burst is going to be a 4-second freeze if you crown it, 4-second petrification for anything and everything that it hits. That is not a boss. That's one thing to make sure. You can't petrify the Regiswines, you can't petrify the weekly bosses like Tartaglia, Izha, etc. Um, so yeah, that's a rough estimate of what he can do. His Jade Shield has some fortifications, blah blah blah, and his shield also lowers all types of resistance by 15% for the enemies when the shield is around them. Around them, as in you'll be the one wrapped in the shield, but when you're close to them, they'll get a negative 15% resistance for all things, so your characters do more damage. So that's what Zhongli does. And basically, if you are someone like me who just does not like taking damage, because if I get hit by even the slightest hit, and say my Ito gets hit and he goes from 18,714 down to even 18,713, that is gonna really bug me. So if you want to save those multiple trips to the Statue of the Seven to keep healing, a shield is gonna be really good. Or you can also run a healer to do that, but healing for me takes a lot of time, and I just prefer a shield because it also has knockback resistance, the resistance to interruption, which means that when you're performing certain combos and everything while you're wrapped in the shield and an enemy hits you, you're not going to get knocked away or blown off. And it also helps through all other types of things. Say you get hit with pyro and then boom, an electro hit hits you, you're not gonna take overload, etc. Well, uh, next is gonna be the banner that's coming alongside Zhongli in the second half. I'm gonna talk about Ganyu, and For Ganyu, what I would say is, whoops, that Ganyu is basically kind of the best bow user in the game for using the bow at least. So what for what Ganyu's kit is you basically charge shot, hit, and the charge shot deflects into multiple arrows and hits the surrounding enemies, and you just repeatedly do that. That's it. That's how you hit with Ganyu, and it does insane amounts of damage. Her skill puts up a decoy so the opponents attack the decoy while you can just aim and shoot at them. And her ultimate is kinda, it's a giant rain of arrows basically. She puts up a giant ice ball in the sky and it rains arrows over and over again for a certain duration, so it's good for cry application. Now the one thing that I really like about Ganyu is she gives herself a lot of crit rate, and by a lot I mean a lot. So if you just go here and go to Ganyu, check. First of all, she ascends with crit rate, so she's gonna naturally be at 24% crit rate, which is 19% more than anyone else. Then after firing a frost flake arrow, which is the charge shot that deflects and goes into multiple arrows, crit rate of subsequent frost flake arrows and their resolution is gonna be increased by 20% for 5 seconds. So from there you get her to 44% crit rate. Combine that with cryo resonance, which is another 15%. Um, the 4-piece blizzard strayer, if you go for that. If you're using her as mainly charge shot, you can go with 4-piece wanderer's troop, but 4-piece blizzard strayer also works if you're going for support or if you just want to charge shot damage anything. Cryo damage set, go for it. It can give you up to 40% more crit rate, so she's easily gonna be at 80 to 90% crit rate. I think one of my rough calculations showed me that she can go to 99% crit rate without giving her a single crit rate substat or main stat on any of her artifacts or weapons. That's one thing I really like about her. I'm personally not gonna go for that because I somehow didn't do this ever. But yeah, I'll do that. Maybe when I log into my PC. Uh, yeah, if you wanna build Ganyu like that, it's entirely possible. If I do end up getting Ganyu at some point, that is gonna be the build I'm gonna go for her. Just giving her crit damage and attack on all artifacts and substats, and no crit rate at all because she can naturally be there, and maybe I'll throw in Rosaria there for extra crit if in case I feel the crit is not enough. But yeah, that'll be my plan if I ever get Ganyu, which I'm probably not going to because charge shot, aim, and fire is not really a style I personally like. But if you really like it, go for it. Ganyu is gonna be amazing. She hits insanely hard. Yeah. So that's all I had to say about Ganyu. Now Zhao is basically plunge, 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 and plunge. So what you do with Zhao is you tap his ult, then you plunge like this, you jump again, you plunge like this, and it's going to be a lot faster than me waiting for Albedo's elevator. And with Zhao, he basically, when you use his ultimate, he gives himself a lot of damage buff. So you give him high attack from what I know about him, and you have basically one of the best AoE DPSs in the game. And the more enemies around, the better Zhao is going to function with his dashes and with his bursts and everything active. So yeah, that's all I know about Zhao. I know fairly little about him. You can go through his kit in the character archive, and there will be a test run for Zhao. I'm not going too much into detail about Zhao because it's Zhao. He's one of the most hyped characters there is. So More than likely, most people are going to get him. There's also one thing I have noticed about Zhao is that Zhao is tied to the Lantern Right story, so he might not really come around again until next year, Lantern Right, which Lantern Right is gonna happen around Chinese New Year every year, so Zhao might really only come around once per year. So if you really need Zhao, go for him, and then you can skip the other characters. Last but not least is the new character Shinhe. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. But Shinhe is basically a support for cryo types and physical damage dealing units. So if you do not have a cryo unit or if you do not have a physical damage unit like Eula, then just don't bother with Shinhe. Of course, unless you like her character design, in which case go for it because she's one of the best kid designs I've seen so far. But yeah, Shinhe is basically she's gonna. You need to build her for attack, 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 and attack. Just attack, nothing else. So that's gonna be very easy for her. Just all artifacts attack a percentage, attack percentage, attack percentage. Her weapon attack percentage. Her artifact set 2-piece gladiator and 2-piece Shimanao for attack and attack. And then she's gonna support based on that. Her skills and her bursts are gonna buff cryo units and physical units. Physical DPS units a little less, but still a tremendous boost. Cryo units will get an insane amount of boost. So if you main Ayaka, if you main Ganyu, or if you main Iula, Shinhe is gonna be a really good support for your team. But if you don't have any of those, even if you are using makeshift DPSs like say Rosaria or Aloy, any cryo unit, anything that deals cryo damage or physical damage primarily, even Razor, I guess, Shinhe is going to be good, but if you run neither of those, I'll say she's a skip. Because if she's supporting a certain type and you don't use that type at all, then what's the point of getting her? Of course, unless you really like her character design and everything, the aesthetic, then go for her. And finally, Yaemiko. Is Yaemiko, I think that's it. I'm personally skipping everything for Yaemiko because to me the one unit that I need a lot from the banners in 2.4 Adam since his very first run back in 1.1. So yeah, I have no reason to summon at all in 2.4. And if for Yunjin, if in case anyone is wondering and they don't they plan on going for Shinho or Zhao by saying, oh, I can get Yunjin. You can pick Yunjin for free, in case you didn't know. The Lantern Ride event is going to let us pick a free 4-star character. So you can get Yunjin from there for free if you want. Yunjin is going to be one of the selectable characters, which is a really good idea Mihoyo came up with to let us get the new 4-star for free. So you don't have to summon. You can simply get Yunjin just like that. So make sure you don't make your decisions based off of, oh, I can get Yunjin as well. You can get Yunjin any which ways. Of course, unless you want Yunjin's constellations, but I'll just say wait for it because Yunjin is a 4-star. She's gonna be run on other banners and you can get her from any banner in the future after 2.4. So yeah, at the point I'm making this video, we did not know Yaemiko's kit. It hasn't been leaked because I think the beta hasn't started or anything, and I don't really cover leaks. But Yaemiko, knowing Mihoyo, they're gonna make her really insanely good. I'm looking forward to it. Uh, so yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope I helped you guys make a decision on who you should go for. And I will still say this: go through each and every character's test run, play them multiple times before making a decision, especially if you're a free to play or a low spender, because primo gems are hard to come by and you don't want to get one unit and then think, oh, I should have gone for another unit. So just make an informed decision, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.